Keep that going. We're going to be at Prospect Park tonight, looking for the happy hour. We're going to be just networking and fellowshipping amongst the family here at GMT Radio. So we look forward to seeing y'all tonight. But without any further ado, I want to just get this part going as soon as we possibly can. So I want to introduce my guest that's in studio, and then we're also going to have a call-in guest, my man and my homie for a long time as well, fitness guru, Mr. Derrick Anderson, as we talk health matters. But right now I want to bring in my very special guest, LMT, licensed massage therapist and self-care advocate, Miss Crystal Campbell, aka Miss Chrissy Don, on Facebook. And just glad to have you here in the studio so we can talk these topics. You can get your headphones here.
Okay.
So appreciate you. Welcome.
Good morning. Very glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. We
Very
welcome you
glad
to
for
the
the
Reach
invite.
Podcast Show. Absolutely, absolutely. When I think about the things that I want to talk about and the extension that I want to give, we had a brief conversation in regards to why health matters, and you told me a few things, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to just speak from your heart and your mind and your expertise on those things in regards to that. So first, I'd just like to let you tell people who you are and what you do, and we can go from there.
Okay, so my name is Crystal Campbell, and I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I've been in the field of holistic wellness for almost a decade. Recently, last year, I started a business called Divine Body, which is a self-care business. And I've had a lot of people to ask me, okay, Chrissy, why the pivot from holistic wellness massage to self-care? And, the reason why I've decided to put a lot of focus on that area is because just from my personal experience and also from just observing my clients' experiences, I see that a lot of us struggle with a lot of issues surrounding self-care. And I think the number one issue that a lot of us have is that we don't approach self-care from the proper perspective.
Right.
A lot of us feel like self-care has to be about a look. And I'm speaking from personal experience,
Right.
because when I got my first job, losing the headphones,
It's okay.
when I got my first job in high school, to me, self-care was about going to get manicures, pedicures, going to go buy those shoes at Baker's. For
Right.
those of you who remember Baker's, that was my shoe store back in the day. Being able to go out with my friends whenever I wanted to, being able to go out and eat whatever I wanted to eat. That was self-care to me. But you know what? When I finally progressed into real adulthood, and we all do, and life happened, and I started experiencing stress and pressure for the first time, self-care as I knew it completely flew out the window. It just did not work for what I had going on at the time, and I had a lot going on. I was a full-time student. I had a full-time job. I had these little miscellaneous part-time jobs that I was working, just trying to get money wherever I could get it. I was helping a family member out. I had helped friends out. And you know what? I got to a point where I was just completely burnt out. And I'm pretty sure if either of you have seen the ad on LeVar's Facebook page, you've seen my before and after
Right.
picture. In April 2017, I was a very sick lady.
Wow.
I was over 230 pounds. I had pain in my joints every single day. I had chronic fatigue. I would be in the middle of session with a client, literally gripping the edge of the table because I felt like I was going to pass out because my blood pressure
Right.
would rise. It would just get high and I couldn't control it. And I got to a point to whereas even though I felt like I was being dependable for everybody else, I was absolutely miserable. And I was absolutely unhappy, and I felt like I was stuck.
Right.
And I found my answers in, first of all, God, and then self-care.
Right.
I realized that I had got to a point to whereas I was doing so much to try to be dependable and show up for everyone else that I stopped putting myself on the to-do list.
Right.
And we often find ourselves in these situations when life happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're a parent, so you totally get this.
Yes.
When you have a child, your focus is completely on that child.
Yep.
And you kind of sort of become an afterthought. And from my experience, what I have learned is that we can we can focus on the needs of our bodies, our hearts, and our minds, and still be able to take care of other people. And when we are able to focus on ourselves, and find that balance that's perfect for our lifestyle, everything gets better. Our relationships get better. Our health gets better. Our work performance gets better. But it takes being able to redirect that focus from just trying to take care of everything and everybody else, and realizing that we are important,
right,
and that our feelings matter, that our dreams and our desires matter.
Absolutely, man. That's right on point. As they say, the nail on the head. It's amazing you were talking about blood pressure, and of course, shout out to my mom here, my always guest in studio. She sits to the side, but she can attest to. I had an episode. I was at work, and we ignored a lot of things, and it ended up being my blood pressure, and I had to be rushed to the emergency room. This was August 2nd, 2016.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, and thanking God that once they ran all the tests, they were like, you're healthy as an ox, but it's, you got to get that blood pressure under control, and I mean, I eat healthy, I'm active with my kids, but it's just certain things in life you go through. It might be beyond your control, so to speak, but it's important for us to know what we can do, things to pay attention to. So I appreciate you being on the show to talk more about that, and of course about your business. What I like to do too is let me go ahead and text our calling guest so he can get started. I'm not sure if he's listening at the moment, but we're going to have Mr. Derrick Anderson call in, so that way he can go ahead and be part of the entire show as we kind of talk back and forth. And then our main thing too is making sure that we tie it into the betterment of not only everyone, but also men as well,
right,
as we
right,
talked about briefly on the phone. So we'll wait on him to call. So have a couple of questions. What would you say is, I guess, the biggest cause of people not really paying attention to health? If you ever thought of it in that way, what would you say, in your opinion, would be one of those biggest things?
Well, you know what, and I really, when I speak to people, I try to speak from personal experience, because I think that really is the most powerful example that I can put out there.
Right.
One thing that I struggled with myself, with care, and how I got on board to really focusing on that and turning my life around, was having accountability.
Right.
Just recognizing that the situation that I was in really was because of my choices, and it wasn't because necessarily of what happened to me in life, but how I reacted to those things. And once I was able to have some accountability, then I was able to actually realize, okay, this is something that I need to put in the effort to turn around. Another thing that I struggled with was self-compassion. I had an aha moment with a therapist. Actually, I went to go see her, and I was asking her, I was like, why is it when someone has a problem, they can come to me and I sit and I listen to them, I can empathize with them, I can give them feedback. It doesn't matter what they're struggling with, but when it comes to me and the things that I deal with, why is it that I'm so hard on myself that I can't give myself a break? And you know what, LeVar, she looked me in the eye and she said, it's because you don't feel like you're worth it. And that was a gut punch to me. And, actually, I kind of felt indignant. I was like, this chick doesn't know me. Who is she to tell me that I don't feel like it, that I'm worth it? But it's very true,
right, that
oftentimes we get into this mindset that everyone else deserves our compassion and our love, but we're not worthy of it. I've seen this with my clients. I've had clients who, they come in and they tell me, I've been in a lot of pain. And I'm like, okay, so how long has this been going on? Oh, about 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
You let it go that long?
Exactly. Yeah. You're a parent. Would you allow your child to complain about something, a pain, for 3 weeks before you decided to do something about it? No, as soon as you saw that baby with tears in their eyes saying, Daddy, I don't feel good, you're going to stop everything that you have going on to take care of that.
That's a very interesting point, the way you put that. I like that, because that's true. We put ourselves on the back burner, and I'm just sitting here thinking about really any of my kids. If they come to me like that, I'm stopping everything. I've told my jobs, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to their aid. But that's true. I'm guilty of that myself, and that's another reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I tell people all the time it's self-therapy as well, you
Right.
know, to get more ideas about how to be better, because that's just my thing. We have to be better. We have to be intentional about the things that we're doing. So I mean that's amazing. And Derrick, I don't know if you're ready, but you can call in at any time now. So what would be you say your biggest accomplishment thus far along your journey, as you went from one point to another? Since, what does he say, 2014?
2017.
2017,
Yeah,
okay.
2017,
Sorry.
yeah.
What would you say is you're most proud of right now?
You know what I'm most proud of is seeing the people who have been inspired by my story. And that's one of the reasons why when I talk to people, you know, and I will talk to anybody out there, if there is, I don't care what your past is, I don't care what mistakes you've made, if you know that you have found a way to wholeness, if you have found a way to be happy, to feel free, to feel complete, open your mouth and share your story, because you don't know whose life you might impact. Someone might be going through the same thing that you went through 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that had you down, that had you feeling stuck. And just by you simply sharing your story, that person sees hope and they see a way out. And so I would say that really is my biggest accomplishment. I have people who reach out to me on Facebook, people that I see in person that I've never met before, never spoken to, and they say, you know what, I have seen your story and you inspire me and you have touched me to make a change in my life. And that is how we change the world. It starts with you, by making those changes, however small they may be. When you go out into the world, it causes a ripple effect.
Absolutely. That's good information. So I hope you guys are paying attention. Again, this is Miss Crystal Campbell, aka Chrissy Don. We are in the process of trying to get my man DA on the phone, and there he is. So let's go to Mr. Derrick. Derrick, what's going on, man?
Yes.
Okay, you did your own drop, your own intro, man. I like that. That's what's up. So again, this is Derrick Anderson, fitness guru, aka DA, on the line. I've been knowing this man for a long time, and again, this platform is used to allow people to share their experience, share their story. So DA, you want to just tell them a little bit more about who you are and what you do? Absolutely. So as you know, we're here to talk about health matters, and especially how it pertains to men and the betterment of their lifestyles. So I was just talking to Miss Chrissy. I don't know if you got a chance to hear, part of what she said right now. But one of the things I was asking her is, what do you think is the biggest reason why people neglect what they do? Neglect their health, and what do you think seems to be the reason why there's a lack in regards to that? Absolutely, absolutely. So, DA, I don't know if you're able to move to a different spot in regards to where you're at, but I've had a couple messages saying that you sound a little muzzled and you're in a noisy area. So if you're able to move, that's cool. But if not, we're gonna make the best of it. So again, welcome to. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. We'll definitely do that. So I'm just glad to again have you in the studio, DA. Glad to have you on the line. So again, we're focused on why health matters and how it can help our men be better and just people in general. So just moving along with the conversation, I had a couple questions in regards to this, and I'd like to feed off you, Crystal, and then also you, DA. So when it comes to the platform of health and people feeling better, one of my questions is, and I was actually asked this, do you feel like there's a difference from ethnicity standpoint and I guess it would be a mindset standpoint in regards to the capabilities of an individual as they're trying to have better health, and just wanted to know what your opinion was or what your expertise was in regards to that.
I would say definitely. Hey,
hold on 1 second, Dia. If you'll put it on mute until you speak in, and we're gonna go with Chrissy first. Ladies first.
Okay, so yeah, definitely. You know what? When you know better, you do better.
Right.
Right. It's just there is a lack of education in the minority community. I mean, when you look at the fact that we're in 2019, we have some of the best technology, the best medical science at our disposal, but you know what? We are still at higher risk for diseases of anxiety, of stress, cardiovascular disease. There's something wrong with that. There has to be a reason for that gap. And that's the reason why I do what I do, to educate people and give them that knowledge, because I know I was at a point in my life where I just really didn't know any better.
Right.
When I was growing up, I was taught, you brush your teeth, you do your hair, you make sure your clothes are clean, you put on some deodorant. I wasn't taught how to take care of my heart. I wasn't taught how to renew my mind on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So there are people out there who they want a better life. They just don't know how to go about achieving that.
Right. Okay, that's good. I like that. Hey, DA, I don't know, did you hear the question in regards to what she was just speaking on?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What would be your perspective, man?
My perspective and my remedy would be water and trees. Okay? What I mean by that is either when you're trying to get yourself together and you're trying to get your mind right, no matter what distractions you have or problems that you have going through life, surround yourself around a wooded area with a lot of trees, which provide oxygen. It helps you breathe and clear your mental path. And also water. Most of you guys know, as we go on the beach, we hear the waves crashing, walking along the shore. It's a relaxing feeling to try to get your mind and do a lot of thinking, just actually staring into the water. It's kind of deep. I pretty much rehabilitated myself through the whole process of me going through ups and downs throughout my whole entire fitness career. And when it was good, I was rocking and rolling, but when it was bad, it was messed up. So I said, okay, look, I got it down like a science now. Anytime you have problems, trees and water. Basically simple.
Yeah, that is very, very, very interesting. That kind of segues me into another question I was going to have is, what tidbits would you give to people? So the trees and water, that's very interesting. I'm going to definitely have to talk to you more about that. And Ms. Chris, is there anything in regards to tidbits as far as health tips or strategies or anything like that you would provide to the listeners?
Yes, definitely. For anyone who is interested in turning around their health and turning around their their life, what I would say is just change your focus, change your mindset, in order to change your habits, and start off small. You don't have to have this entire huge regimen for your morning and your evening in order to create change in your life. Just start somewhere small, and from that small beginning, that's going to grow into something huge. And also have commitment. You know what? If you can have commitment to go to somebody else's business, be on time, and take your break when they tell you to take your break, and be committed for your family and your friends. You need to be able to be that committed to yourself. Your level of commitment and compassion, everything that you have within you, that God has blessed you, your drive, that's not just for everybody else, that's for you as well. Right. You need to be able to tap into that for yourself. That's what's going to bring about the change.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that, I mean, just to simplify that, as much as we get up, we rush to get to work, to clock in on time, clock out on time, go to lunch on time, get off on time, get to your kids' school on time, the games on time. It's the same thing. We need to have that mindset, like you said, for ourselves. So that's definitely true. What I like to do is, DA, what I'd like to do right now, since you're on the phone, man, is I want to give you both guys the opportunity to just talk about your business, I guess, talk about yourself, what you do, what you're offering to people, and then we'll go from there. No, go ahead. Since you're on the phone, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, so that way you don't have to hold too long, and then you can just listen in from there. Okay, cool. So that's what you're doing yourself. You're getting yourself back in shape, because maybe people can go to your Instagram and your Facebook page, and they can get pictures and see the person that you are. Now, in regards to your fitness regimen, or how you're helping out others, what are the things that you're bringing to the table for your clients, or the people that you get in the gym with you? Sounds like you're relaxing the mind.
So it's, and everything is geared towards motivation. So like whatever movie we watch is geared towards inspiration, or getting their life back in order, or just basically it's like a vacation to get away. So that's what I provide.
That's good.
Yeah, that is amazing, man. It almost sounds like similar to what I'm doing. It's like a gym mentorship program you got going on. So I just throw that name on it for you right there, man. So that's awesome stuff. Yeah, well, salute to you, DA. I appreciate you calling in, man. I'll let you get off the line. Of course, you're definitely able to stay on the line if you want to. But tell people how they can reach you as far as your social media platforms and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you guys want to reach me on my social media platform, I guess the best way to get with me will be through my IG, which is Instagram. DM me, direct message, if you don't know what that means, for all the old schoolers out there with the flip phone. So, I'm under Mr. Jim Life, MRGYMLIFE, Mr. Jim Life, and once again, it's Derrick Anderson.
All right, AKA Mr. DA. Is there any parting ways as far as the phone call that you want to leave? Anything else that you'd like to input?
Hey, I would like to thank you again, and the information. I call the queen of fitness. I got it all hands down. I got to bow down to the girl. She did a thing today. You spoke very well, intelligent. I really appreciate the information. I'm soaking it in as we speak right now, and I wish you the best of luck myself, because there's not too many entrepreneurs and people out there that's willing to help change lives, and change the lives matter.
Yes.
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 Absolutely.
That's good.
Hey, so you just prompted one last question, like a cross reference for you and him. So DA, you're in the gym, you're doing the fitness thing. Chrissy is as well, but more geared toward the massage part. So being an athlete and being a guy who's working out, training for bodybuilding and all that, how important is it for you to get massages?
Massages is very important.
It should be.
Getting rid of a lot of free radical damage. You're getting a lot of, excuse me, man, I was for a second. But yeah, you're getting, your body is relieving a lot of lactic acid. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's just,
Did you mention that?
throughout your body that we all need for detoxing.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, DA, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time. Of course, we want you to stay locked in on the show, but I know you're in the gym, you're doing your thing, man. So shout out to you, fitness guru, Mr. Derrick Anderson, my man, DA, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother.
One love, brother.
Absolutely, man. And get with me when you get back into Houston.
I got you.
All right.
All right.
He is too cool for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Miss Chris, I'd like to, I guess, get back to you on that same question. It's I guess, understood, so to speak, but in regards to you doing the massages and stuff like that, how important is it to have a disciplined workout routine? Speaking cross-reference about what he does.
It's very important. There's nothing wrong with being strong, and when you work your body, that translates into strengthening your mind. You cannot separate the two, mind and body, and I think that's how a lot of us get in trouble with our self-care. Either we're completely focused on the body or we're completely focused on the mind, and you're just not going to have balance in any area in your life if you approach your self-care like that. So in order to do what I do, which is I have a very physical job doing massage, I have to be strong. And I just like being strong. I just like feeling capable, and just knowing that I'm able. I like feeling dependable for my family and my friends. When you do physical activity, what a lot of us don't realize is that that affects us on a chemical level in our body. It releases your endorphins, your natural painkillers. It releases serotonin. It increases dopamine, which are your happy, feel-good chemicals. So if you are feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, if you get up and you just move around and you exert yourself a little bit, you will notice that the way that you feel is going to turn around very quickly.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's good stuff. So I would go into give you opportunity to speak into the camera, and like I was asking DA, when they go to him now, we know they can expect like a gym life mentorship. They're going to do all kind of things with him, from meal prep to, of course, working out, going to movies, going amongst the waters and the trees, so we know what to expect from him. So I'd like for you to have the opportunity to tell people in regards to Divine Body what they can expect when they come to you.
Okay, well, I pivoted a little bit from massage and holistic wellness to self-care because I consider what I do, what I'm offering my clients is not just a massage experience, it's a journey towards your best life. And so you get to define how you're going to go about doing that. You know, I would never, sit here and presume to have all of the answers for what you need. But I network with an amazing group of individuals who do similar things to what I do in wellness. And who have a passion for helping people, people who help with your financial health, who help with your physical health, who help with your mental health, life coaches, and so I'm able to refer my clients out to people that I trust, who I know are going to take care of my people, because that's very important to me, because self-care is what you make of it. What you do for your self-care is not going to work for me.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it, that you can customize it. You can tune into your desires and your dreams. And, through tapping into whatever resources that are available to you, you can pursue that and you can create that for yourself. Absolutely. And so that's what I'm in the business of. I'm in the business of changing lives. And for anyone who has a desire to do better and be better, whatever I can do to help and assist with that, whether that be through hands-on, massage, holistic therapies, whether that be through education, whether that's me just hooking you up with somebody that I know who can help you with what you're struggling with, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to talk to whoever I need to talk to, get on a podcast, because this is completely out of my element. This is out of my comfort zone. But whatever I need to do, I'm here. I'm available as a resource, and that is my passion. That's my pleasure.
And I'm good. I'm glad to know that this is outside of your comfort zone, because we wouldn't have known that. You walked in bold. You've been bold the whole time you're here. So, I appreciate you being here. You just don't understand. And, we've had some brief conversations. So I knew it'd be good. You give us some great information. So we definitely appreciate that. I'm taking the notes myself. So another thing I like to talk about too, and forgive me if you feel like they're crazy questions, but it's just some things that I've been asked, some things that I wonder. So another thing that I like to know is everybody's different. Everybody has a different body type and stuff like that, right? So is there a go-to massage? Is there different names? Is there anything we can share with people so they'll know, based on how they're feeling, what to ask for? In regards to, if they, of course, we want them to come to you, but they might venture off somewhere else. But is there anything that you would give the people in regards to the types and what works, I guess?
That's a difficult question. Okay. There's so many different modalities of massage that you can go out and you can get Swedish if you're into the relaxation, feel good type massage. There's the deep tissue. If you're really stressed out, you really have issues, you want that deep tissue.
Those are hard.
There's your they're good though. It's good medicine. There's your sports massage for people who are active, who maybe you need a different element. You need the pressure, and then you also need the stretching. There's Thai massage, where you have practitioners that will just twist you into a pretzel. Wow. I haven't figured that route yet.
Okay.
But there's hot stone. There's prenatal massage for women who are pregnant. What I suggest to people is try different things.
Okay.
Just step out there.
That's what I was looking for. Just try it out.
Just be open-minded. Try different things. Just try it and see if it's something that you like. If it's something that works for you. Don't look at something and just completely write it off.
Right.
Just look into it and educate yourself. Educate yourself. When we educate ourselves and we get knowledge, it kind of helps to put our fears to rest, because we don't have that anxiety of, I'm going into the unknown. Just educate yourself. Talk to someone like me who is a practitioner, who's in the field, and talk about what your unique needs are, because you can come to me, and I can give you a massage, but really you are the only person who can articulate what you really need.
Absolutely.
So open up and just allow yourself to be vulnerable, and just go ahead and get your needs met. Just fearlessly, just jump in it.
I got you. So again, man, that's good as well. The only other thing I would ask in regards specifically to massages is, you hear the 30-minute, the 60-minute, the hour and a half. is there a certain time frame that you would recommend in regards to massages? And again, I know some of this stuff is, typical or whatever, but these are some things that I was told to ask, so I'm just asking. Is there a certain, standard, I guess you would say?
You know what? 90 minutes for me personally just hits my sweet spot.
Okay.
If you're doing a 60-minute massage, that's probably going to be for relaxation. You just want to feel like you're just getting away. But if you have focus areas like me, I lift weight 5 days a week.
Wow.
I do hot yoga.
Okay.
I do cardio about 3 or 4 days in the morning. And then I also have a very physical job. So when I get to my massage therapist, I'm like, you know what? I need some work. I need some maintenance. Roll your sleeves up.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is not going to be an easy session. So I once again, I say, just really tap into what you need and what you desire. And a lot of that has to do with just being connected with your body. And that can be very difficult for us because we're constantly just on the go. We're focused on everything, everybody else. So that's really what's going to guide you into deciding what length of session that you need. But I say do 90 minutes.
90 minutes. Y'all heard it here first. 90 minutes, if you're going to do it right. Like she's saying, I guess is basically the idea there. So again, congratulations. Let's talk about, again, I didn't know how to word it, the business. Let's just talk about the business, your place, your establishment, where it's at, where they can find you, all your social media handles. Where can they find Miss Crystal?
Yes, you're going to find me at Divine Body SC, and that's all lowercase, one word, no spaces. That's my Instagram, that's my Facebook. My location is over off of I-10, the Katy Freeway, right before you get to Fry Road. So if any of you are familiar with that big Sam's Club over there, I'm like right behind there. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. I want to go to anybody who's tuned in on the podcast. I do have my laptop open here. If there's any other question, if you don't mind, that we can ask Miss Crystal, just go ahead and type it into the comments and we'll read it off. But you have a bunch of people saying hello. Okay.
So we want,
hello.
We're going to have to get Chrissy to go live, y'all. So, Monsi, we need y'all to work on her going live. We were talking about that. And then also Miss Misty, your sister, they're going to get you going live here on Facebook. But yeah, Monsi says hello. Kim says hello. And then the other listeners saying hello as well. And then Miss Noella Ile, she said hello as well. So just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge those people that are tuning in and speaking in.
Yes, love y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this is where I kind of tied into the perspective of men, because my platform is all about helping us as men be better, and being the best versions of ourselves. So I appreciate the information and the knowledge that you've laced us with, as they would say today, because one of the things that you went back to, and I wrote it down, is just self-worth. And men, again, we have to be vulnerable, and we have to be willing to expose ourselves to the emotions and the feelings that sometimes we want to cover up, and acknowledgement is one of the biggest things in regards to our health. I've heard it time and time again, especially black men, they don't want to go to the doctor, and those are that's one of the biggest causes for me, is in regard to knowledge of self. And where you actually stand and what you're going through, because, you can have GPS, but if you don't put an address in it, if you don't put a destination, then it's not going to work, so you have everything you need inside of you. But I think that address is just your acknowledgement of it and setting goals and setting a plan, in regards to where you want to be. So, I mean, that's just really important. And so to all my male listeners, especially out there, if you can just take in and soak in all the things that you've heard today from my guest, Miss Crystal here, my man, D.A., and it's just time for us to be better and do better. And that way we can be an influence to the next person coming up behind us, starting with your own kids. Again, this is just Dad Chronicles speaking to you. That's my move. That's my motivation. I want everybody to be the best version of themselves, so that way we can help the next people in the next generation, and it just becomes a cycle. So Crystal, also I wanted you to let people know, we talked about you potentially doing that today, where you can network with other events and tell them more about what you would do in regards to bringing your chair out and how that works for you.
Okay, what I'm offering to business owners right now is I will come to your location. I will do chair massage. I'm not charging anybody for that. I'm just asking for the opportunity to talk to people, educate people, and give my information out. So if that's something that you would be interested in for a party that you maybe have, a baby shower, you know, birthday party, quinceañera, if you do those things, you know, or maybe if it's just at your business, you know, you have some great employees and you just want to reward them, you know, just reach out to me. I will show up, you know, with bells on, you know, and we can talk about, you know, some of the issues that y'all have with self-care, you know, and we can schedule time for you to come in where we can work on some goals that you have for yourself, you know, because a goal, you know, without a plan is just a wish, you know, and like I said, I'm just here for anyone who's ready to take that next step.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like she said earlier, just dive in, right? Just
yes,
do it. Just
dive
be bold.
in.
She's an example today. You know, this is way out of her lane and what she's used to, but she walked in here and she's doing it. So that's just a testament within itself. And lastly, Chris, is the tie-in. What would you say to our males? Like a direct message or encouragement or whatever you would say to our men, just as a whatever motivation or, you know, encouragement, like I said, just something that you would leave, you know, with them today.
What I would say is that your feelings matter. It doesn't matter if someone's listening to you or not. How you feel is very important. God cares about your feelings if nobody else does. You know, one of the main issues that I've seen with men with their self-care is they lack the ability to be vulnerable. And a lot of that has root in your childhood, right? There was some point in your life where you were honest about how you felt, or maybe you cried and somebody told you, man up, you know, or just to suck it up. You know, and it's a very dehumanizing way to live your life when you feel like you're not allowed to have problems.
Right.
And you always have to be strong and you always have to be this guard up. And so after a while, I can see how a guy would be like, you know what, well, I just pretend like I don't even have feelings.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And when you get to that point, you can't address the problems because you cannot come to viable solutions if you can't even say that you have a problem.
Right. And then that leads to the lack of communication, and then the onset of numerous of things. And, you know, again, this is all self-therapy, because just last night I was getting on my 5-year-old. I'm like, it's a touchy situation, but also I think it's, you know, a thin line, as I guess they would say, because definitely want them to be vocal, but at the same time, your resolution shouldn't be, and he's young, don't get me wrong, his resolution shouldn't be just to cry all the time. You know, and that's what I don't want to have happen. And so as men, it sets on early. You know, we find ourselves telling our sons, especially, toughen up, you know, don't be like that. But like I told him, is that, man, your feelings matter. Don't get me wrong. Your feelings matter, but you need to be able to express that to me. You know, I'm not going to sit here and just let you keep crying and think I'm going to figure it out, because that part is not going to happen. But again, that's that fork in the road, I think, that you're speaking on, to where we as parents, we have to, especially men, we have to nurture our kids. We have to nurture our own feelings and be at peace with yourself. That's another thing, is that you have to get to at peace with yourself, understand who you are as a person, before you can really effectively pour into someone else.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't know if you want to say something in regards to that.
Well, no, I mean, that's my underlying message of everything that I do in self-care, is that, you know, when you focus on yourself, you make that investment into yourself, because that's what it is. It is an investment. It is an effort. Yeah. But you know what? Whatever you put in, you're just going to get that out in spades.
Absolutely.
And you will see how everything in your life you know,
improves. Yeah. Definitely, man. So again, just out of respect of time, we're coming down close to the end of the show. So again, we appreciate everyone that was tuned in. We appreciate your comments. And hopefully the Reach podcast show has definitely reached you guys and reached beyond your ears in some shape, form, or fashion. So again, y'all can reach out to my man, Mr. Derrick Anderson. He is on Instagram at Mr. Jim Life, just as it's spelled. You can reach out to him. He's on Facebook as Derrick Anderson, normal spelling there. And then again, Chrissy, we'll let you tell them all of your handles again.
It's Divine Body SC. That's for Instagram and Facebook. And my email address is lmt.crystalc@gmail.com.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And again, I am LeVar Ellis on Facebook. Dad Chronicles page is one of my platforms. You can catch me on IG. If you want to get into my personal business, which is just going to be my kids, okay? It's Lee to You. That's ITSLEE, the number 2, and then you on Instagram. I have my @Dad Chronicles, and Dad Chronicles is DADKRONICLES. That's on Instagram as well. And then, of course, my newest platform, thanks to my GMT Radio family here, is the Reach Podcast Show on Instagram as well. And then lastly, man, again, shout out to my chess club. So one thing I wanted to put out there to just try to inspire and push some men is that it's kind of early, but we're going to be going again, thanks to Be a Champion organization. We're going to go to the U of H game when they play Navy. So if any man, I'm just going to start it now. If there's any man out there that wants to take family, a group of kids, and you want to win some tickets, then get at me on one of those. And then you can reach me at dadchronicles@gmail.com or the Reach Podcast Show @gmail.com. And what I'm saying is that if you can email me why we should give you 10 tickets, I need it to be at least 4 adults and the rest can be kids. At least 6 kids, I guess I should say it that way. At least 6 kids, because this point of going to the game is to give back to the youth. So if you can do that, we're going to give away some tickets for the game on November 30th. I know that's Thanksgiving weekend. So for anybody that's in town and you're interested in that, get at me on there. Inbox me, DM me. You know how it goes. And we appreciate everybody tuning in today to the Reach Podcast Show, where every show we're reaching beyond the ears of listeners. And thanks again to my in-studio guest. Shout out to my man, Nice, and my mother. Appreciate you guys being here with me, man. And that's been the this episode of the Reach Podcast. Y'all have a blessed week.